More than half a year has passed since my journey to Morocco in the first half of 2025. It wasn't just a trip, it was the beginning of a movement. A journey without a global plan, without a destination. Morocco was something unique, almost impossible to comprehend. Deserts, mountains, snow, rocky plains, all in one place. In terms of emotions and perception, it will be hard to exceed, but the journey continues. And this time, it will be completely different. This time, the journey expands. It stretches across the Mediterranean region. It's the end of 2025, and the goal is to reach the island of Sicily, riding along the eastern coast of Spain and stopping on Sardinia along the way. It's an ambitious route, ferries, crossings, distances, complex logistics, but everything is possible. And what matters most is not speed or destination, but the road itself and the Mediterranean atmosphere. This is a region where continents meet, where history still breathes through the landscape, where mountains descend into the sea, and light, wind, and salt shape the rhythm of each day. Day 1. Reunion. Since the previous journey, our motorcycles had remained in Spain for more than half a year. Seeing my bike again after such a long time was emotional, like meeting an old friend you haven't seen in far too long. Of course, there was also uncertainty how much life was left in the battery, and how easily the bike would start after such a long break. And only when I heard the motorcycle sound again, like a long-forgotten song to my ears, did I truly realize that the journey could begin.
Bet viņš ir atdzīvojies, viss kārtībā. Jāizsilda kārtīgi un te jau varēs naukt.
In Spain, we have only a few days to ride from the Alicante region to Barcelona, around 800 kilometers. We choose the smaller roads, avoiding the highways. Roads that pass through towns and villages, not around them. Along the way, there are practical tasks. The rear tire, worn down completely by the sharp stones of Morocco. And we also need to find oil for both motorcycles. But what truly matters is the road itself. Spanish towns, villages, everyday life, places where no one is in a hurry, and where the journey becomes presence, not distance. The next day we are in Valencia. Here the goal is simple, to take care of all the technical details. First of all, the tire. We find one at a local service shop. Considering the routes ahead, I need a more aggressive tire, one that isn't always easy to find. We also find the oil we need, and the bikes are finally fully prepared. Moments like this are part of the journey. They slow the pace, but make sure everything is ready for what lies ahead. After taking care of all the technical details, we decide to continue deeper into the continent, into the mountains. We choose gravel tracks and small mountain towns, places where the road slows down and the noise fades away. The plan is simple, to spend the night somewhere in the mountains. But as darkness begins to fall, we realize that reality is different. It's the off-season. Most hotels and cafes in the mountains are closed, something we hadn't fully considered. The temperature drops to around 5 degrees Celsius. Camping no longer feels like a good idea, so we make a different decision, to ride out of the mountains, toward the sea, closer to warmth, closer to civilization. That day's tire change turned out to be crucial. I felt far more confident in the mountains, especially in unexpected moments, riding through dark mountain passes, searching for a place to stay.
Šodien palikām kalnos. tādā viesnīciņā. Un kāds šeit nereāli skaists skats pa logu. Un tad mums močā apakšā. Pils. Nu vienīgais mīnus šeit visā štajā, ka ir reāli augsti. Nezinu cik. Sola kaut kāds 6-8 būs gradi. Panākti 4 bija.
We spend the night in a beautiful mountain town, Morella, a historic place set high in the mountains, with medieval walls and narrow streets. After the previous day, we make a clear decision. No more mountain riding in Spain this time. Today's plan is the complete opposite of yesterday, to head toward the sea and reach Barcelona. And here it is, Barcelona, a city with a strong character, where architecture, culture, and the Mediterranean rhythm merge into one. We spend the day simply enjoying the city, its streets, food, and movement. But one place stands above everything else, Sagrada Familia. Antoni Gaudí vision, hard to believe that it is created by human hands. The day passes without notice, and it's time to move on to the port where a ferry to Sardinia is waiting. The ferry from Barcelona to Sardinia takes 15 hours. The forecast warns of strong winds, and we prepare for a long crossing. But distance and time are not what matter most. What matters is the feeling that soon we will reach Sardinia, an island at the heart of the Mediterranean. A place often spoken of as something special, but truly understood only once you arrive.
Lasciatemi cantare con la chitarra in mano. Lasciatemi cantare, sono un italiano.
Sardinia, the second largest island in the Mediterranean, separated from the mainland, with its own language, its own culture, and a very ancient history. We have only a few days to cross the entire island, from the north to the far south, where the next ferry is waiting for us. The island is mountainous and full of color. We plan to ride through its inland, experiencing the full landscape, every climb and every descent. The first, and one of the main places we visit, is an abandoned U.S. military base high in the mountains of Sardinia. Built during the Cold War, it was once part of an air surveillance system, a secret place where radars watched the skies. Later, as the world changed, the base was abandoned. Up here, the temperature is close to zero. The fog is so thick that the landscape disappears within a few meters. The place feels surreal. Abandoned buildings, towers, antennas, like a scene from an apocalyptic film. We walk through the entire area, exploring what was once a powerful and secret facility. Even though the fog hides the view, I can't resist the temptation to climb one of the radar towers. The view is not as impressive as it would be on a clear day, but the feeling is unique. Once again, I realize how grand the structures humans can build, and how easily they can be forgotten. This place was unique, but it's time to continue to south. We don't choose the highways. We choose the small mountain roads and trails. Roads that surprise us again and again, beautiful and dangerous at the same time, rocky and challenging. We enjoy both, the roads themselves and the mountains around us. And here, in motion, Sardinia begins to reveal its true character. We fully embraced Sardinia's mountain roads and landscapes. And even though we would love to stay a few more days, the journey calls us onward. We head to the port, where the next ferry is already waiting, this time to Sicily. Sardinia will stay with me as endless mountain passes, winding roads, and playful gravel tracks. But what will Sicily be like? Sicily, an island in the Mediterranean with a powerful character, a place where history, nature, and human stories are tightly connected. Many civilizations passed through this island, and its darker past remains part of its story. We arrive in Palermo. After 12 hours at sea, the ferry docks at 5 in the morning. It's still night outside, but the city is already beginning to wake up. Palermo is a beautiful and unusual city, with architecture shaped by many different eras. But this time, we skip the cultural route. I've been here before. There is just one place I want to pass through: the famous Palermo market. To feel that cultural shock once again. The chaos, the voices, the smells, the raw life. We ride past the first vendors, setting up as the city wakes. We don't stay long in the city. We didn't come to Sicily for cities. We came for the island's wild nature, its mountain roads, and the small villages hidden beyond the main routes. In Sicily, you don't have to wait long for small roads or impressive views. As soon as we leave Palermo behind, the first wild Sicilian roads appear. After a while, we reach a town called Corleone, a name known around the world, both for its real mafia history and for its place in cinema. But reality feels very different. Corleone is a beautiful and welcoming town, with friendly people and a calm, everyday rhythm. Riding through it, there's no sign of its criminal past. Only historical buildings, silence, and the feeling that times have changed. We continue journey, and just a few kilometers after Corleone, we hit our first Sicilian special stage. At first, it doesn't seem difficult. A short, muddy section, something we see all the time back home. But soon, everything changes. The tires begin to block with clay, until the front wheel locks up and riding becomes impossible. We realize it immediately. These are the infamous Sicilian clays, a local clay-rich soil that, when wet, becomes extremely sticky and turns the road into pure slick. We had only heard stories about it. I never imagined that a few hundred meters could take several hours. At first, we try to push through, but it quickly becomes clear. Without removing the mud guards completely, we won't get much further. Sicily has surprised us once again, and we're ready for whatever comes next.
Nu, ko iebraucām mēs tetā, tādā jau nopietnākā. Un, protams, pats sākumiņš, un tā ir tie slavenie mitrie dubļi. Mēs nevaram izbraukt vienkārši. Es noņēmis jau spārnu. Un izbraukšana būs, paskat kā tiesa, vienkārši ārprāts. Tiesists, viss. Jo mēs varam no bremzes trubiņa klāt. Nu, tagad ņemsimies tālāk.
After such a demanding section, we don't want to see mud for a while. We continue at a calmer pace, a relaxed ride, enjoying Sicily's coastline and its dynamic mountain roads. The weather is perfect, sunny and warm. But no matter how beautiful the road and the day are, we can't stay on asphalt for too long. Soon, we leave the main road again and head back into the mountains, enjoying Sicily's wild nature, exactly the way we like it.
Tas bija ļoti tehniski.
Lēni arī nevar, ātri arī negribētu. Tā.
Jā.
The further we ride off-road, the more challenging it becomes. Deep puddles, rocky tracks, mud. It turns into a real test for our heavily loaded motorcycles. At times, it takes real effort, but we manage and keep moving forward. The final moment of today's off-road ride is a long and very steep climb. Under normal conditions, with a bike this heavily loaded, I wouldn't do it. But this time, turning back is no longer an option. There's only one thing left, to push through and head up. And we make it. It's the true grand finale of the day, the final test of the off-road section. After that, we finally reach the asphalt, where we can breathe again and let the day settle. At the end of the day, we're rewarded with a perfect sunset overlooking the Mediterranean. The sun slowly disappears beyond the horizon, painting the sky in warm tones, as if the whole day finally takes a breath. The last day of our journey. Today's route is an easy one, from Milazzo to Catania, around 130 kilometers. We avoid the highways and choose Sicily's smaller roads. No rush, no pressure, just riding and enjoying the final kilometers on this island. Our destination on this journey is Catania. It lies at the foot of Mount Etna, Europe's highest and most active volcano. Riding past Etna feels surreal. On one side, powerful and beautiful. On the other, disturbing. The volcano breathes smoke, reminding us that nature is always present here. In Catania, we leave our motorcycles until the next time, and that time is already close, with new roads, new goals, and new challenges, because this journey was never about the destination. During this ride, we experienced the Mediterranean in all its colors, from the cities of Spain, through the scenic mountains of Sardinia, to the wild nature of Sicily. I wasn't searching for anything, and because of that, I found calm. Calm on the road, away from everyday noise. Calm in my own thoughts. And somewhere between winding roads, dust, sunsets, and silence, it became clear. This journey was never about the destination. It's about the road and what you find within. That's why this is journey without destination, and that's why it continues.